Be live in a minute. I'm trying to get some more light in here. Hi, everybody. It's Alicia, and I'm here with superstar Robyn. Robyn, say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
I am so excited to have you here for so
Yes,
many reasons.
thank you.
There's a lot of craziness going on in the world right now, and you're like, ooh, yeah.
I was born in the 80s when polio was around, and I've never seen anything like this in my life.
I mean, this is
Never.
all of us are like, and right now I've brought you on because I know that your story is so motivating and inspiring to people.
Thank you.
So we're excited to hear more about it. But the part about your story that you like to tell that is so motivating and inspiring is the part that you're a young woman who is against all odds,
34.
really doing well, working online. And you talk a lot about how you have a disability, but you're, rocking it in this online
Yeah,
world.
I am pushing through.
You are pushing through.
Ever since I was a child coming up, my mom and my aunt, who basically raised me single-handedly, instill in me that, hey, you're just like everybody else. It's just that you have a little setback, and they never treated me differently when they were raising me. I was never treated differently. I was never scorned or anything in my family. From a very close-knit family. We're all very close to each other. So growing up as a child in Jamaica with special needs is extremely hard
It is
because
extreme.
there are a lot of special schools in Jamaica, and unfortunately the system doesn't recognize special needs children as children who are capable. We're looked at as outcasts basically, and I had to be in special education schools up until high school. It's only now as an adult that I'm able to function in a regular classroom. So academics for me was really hard to learn things as everybody else is in a big classroom. I used to feel really bad about myself because I would always be picked on by other kids in school, being special needs. You don't look like you have a disability, so how can you be disabled? So it's being called retard, called stupid, picked on, and treated very poorly. But my family has always instilled in me that, hey, you're not disabled. I'm very loved by family and friends, you know, people who know me. I think when it comes to me, I've always been like a little Trojan horse. So I've always pushed beyond my limits and that sort of thing. So I was in special ed school a lot from into high school. So it was very hard, but nothing stops me from doing what I want to do. In fact, last year was a really huge year for me in success academic wise, because it took me 3.5 years of setbacks, of being put in the hospital and all of that, to finally pass CXC English. Finally got my two. After struggling for 3.5 years. Doing it the first time was hard, failed miserably. Did it the second time, took a step back to do CXC at lower level, got through with all of those, got twos in those areas, and decided that, hey, I'm not making anything stop me. So I did a lot of praying and a lot of self evaluation, because it's hard when you're have a learning disability and you can't keep up with everybody else. And, it put me in a lot of depression, especially as I said, as a child, because I would always say to my mom, why is it that I can't be like everyone else in a classroom and I have to be in these small classes of no more than 6 people or 12 people in a class.
Right.
But definitely did some soul searching and said, hey, I'm doing this full speed and finally got the grade I want. It was hard, but I just never stopped believing that, this is for me. This is what I'm doing. And everything just came beautifully and naturally in the year I was preparing. Sure, when you're going through school and whatever it is, you will get a little distraught when you're not seeing the success that you want, but you just have to instill in yourself that, hey, believing and knowing that you can do this despite whatever disability you have, whether it's cerebral palsy, whether it's bipolar, whether it's schizophrenia, whether it's whatever it is, you have to know that, hey, this does not define me. I am a whole person, first of all. I am whole. I am not an outcast or an old toy that no one wants. I'm whole. That's the first thing. And you're capable of doing anything. I mean, don't let any disability or anything hold you back from being the person that you want to be. You are the charter of your ship, and you are the responsible for your success. And if others don't want to believe in you and others want to doubt you, then that's on them. You just have to prove them wrong. It's up to you to put in the work, no matter how long it takes you. It took me 3 years to do this thing, and finally got my tongue, and I was just flabbergasted to realize that, hey, I did this on my own. It took me a long time, but hey, I'm here. I'm here, and I'm standing. And all the naysayers and all the persons who would say that, hey, you can't do this, look at me now.
That is a great thing to say. Look at me now. And when I look at you, I see someone in our freelancing community who's doing so well and, always talking to others and very active in that community. So now you're in the position where, yes, you had people making fun of you all your life. Your story is one that's truly inspiring, that you kept pushing no matter what other people said about you. Or how they made fun of you because of your disability. And who's laughing now, right? Because look at you.
Yeah, who's laughing? The one that has the laugh last. And one of the songs that I hold to is Fight Song by Rachel Plan.
Okay.
It basically says that, she's not giving up. She has a lot of fight left in her. And so I have a lot of fight left in me. I've been fighting since I was born. I was 2 pounds 4 ounces at birth, and I've been fighting since then. So I mean, having seizures from 2 to 12, and I decided, hey, I'm done with this, and I stopped having seizures at age 12, and look at me now.
Now, I love that. Look at you now. So, Amanda says, Robyn, you're amazing, and I'm loving your inspiring story. So
thank you, Amanda.
We have coming in. We have Kathy Ann who says, you go, girl. Patricia, hey, there's my girl, Robyn.
I've actually done help. I'm actually mentoring and helping her with her business.
Look at that. We need to talk about that in a minute. Keisha Bailey says hello, and Lakeisha says hello as well. And now you're telling us that you're helping other people in their business. And I know that you've done that and hired quite a few people.
Yeah, I have acquired quite a few, including Kathian, including Duran, and a few others as well. And it's been an uphill battle to get to starting Fiverr at first was a little on edge.
Let's back up one step because I've known you for quite some time.
Yeah, since 2016, when you were by Megamart, right in that Gore business place, right beside Megamart. And I remember that Sutanya was actually the person who trained me, and I remember seeing Kimani as well.
Yeah.
And it's just so, inspiring. Actually, one of my inspirations, actually.
I love you.
Because you are a woman who is obviously making boss moves. So, I like the fact that you ended up with nothing and then you just built this huge empire. And I'm hoping to do the same for myself one day.
And I know that you're doing it now. Tell everybody, first of all, why did you want to make money on the internet? Why were you even interested in
Well, actually, I completed a 2-year course at Heart. I did IT. And I started working for just a regular temp job, a regular clerical job, 9 to 5. And with the learning disability, it took me a while to adjust. And with this, it's limiting me from being who I really wanted to be.
Okay.
Like, I couldn't really do much with myself. Persons are always watching me, like my supervisor would constantly be watching me to ensure I had stuff doing. I was always being called into the office because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. And I just got tired of it. I got tired of being told what to do. As a child growing up, I always thought to myself that, hey, my mission in life is to climb the corporate Jamaica ladder and get to where I want to go to show others that, hey, disabled or not, you can do it. But then after a while, that wasn't really what I wanted. I was just doing a clerical position at the time. And my mom, a friend of my mother, came to her and she did the boot camp first, the Fiverr freelancing boot camp. Then she sent me, and I'm in this room of people saying, okay, what's this all about? And within a month, I was getting data entry. And actually, my first job I ever did was transcription.
Wow.
And it was nerve-wracking, frustrating, and stressful. But I really did push through, and I realized that being at a 9 to 5, the way that the world is structured nowadays with technology, no one needs to work at 9 to 5 anymore. And just with my situation, I just knew that being in a 9 to 5 was not suiting my needs. It wasn't, I couldn't go and come as I please. I think after a while they were having problems with me because I was just not doing what I was supposed to do. And I guess I was just a little bored.
Okay.
Yeah, it became boring. And I'm like, how do people do this and not realize that the potential of making money online? And I mean, before, I guess I was a bit skeptic. I mean, a lot of persons are skeptic these days because, I mean, they look at making money online as a scam, and I mean, it's not a scam. I kind of got that out of my head when I was put in a group with other persons and I saw other persons bidding on jobs, and I'm like, okay, this seems like it. And then when my Pioneer card got in the mail, I held it and I stared at it for like the whole day because I couldn't believe that this is an actual card. And I was like, okay, this thing is legit. And when I withdrew money on the card and it went out, like, wow, I'm like, Mama, look at this. What?
So funny.
So I just looked at it and said, hey. And then when my contract ended, I just decided that, hey, I'm going into this full time. And when my contract ended, um, I just hit the ground running, basically. I just never look back. And I mean, every other time I would try and go back out to 9 to 5 because it does get kind of lonely working from home, but the perks are great. I get to sleep in late. And so I basically um just got tired of working for someone else. Why work for someone else and make someone else's dreams come true when you can make your own dreams come true? Basically, you're working for somebody else on their clock, on their time, and it just wasn't enough for me.
It wasn't enough
anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now you're earning a full-time living, working online. You're able to take care of yourself with the income, and you're even hiring other people with the income.
I mean, who would have thought that I would be?
How does that feel that you're your own business owner? You've gone from being, as a kid, the person that people made fun of. I'm guessing your classmates never thought you'd be a business owner, right?
Yeah, I mean, they just look at you as a outcast, or special needs persons are basically outcasts. And I mean, me, as I said, my family never treated me as an outcast. I'm very, very loved. And it's great being a businesswoman and my own woman and my own person, doing orders and that type of stuff is at first was a little daunting. I have to admit to you that it was daunting, but then after a while it became that sort of thing. So being my own business person, as you said, persons with disabilities were not really looked at as functional. So me being able to run my own business, sometimes I have to kind of pinch myself to think that this is something that I wish in my teens and early 20s I found it rather than just in my 30s. But I'm my own person. I do my orders. I have my loyal buyers who love me to death, bits and pieces.
Wow.
I never say no to them and they never say no to me. So
wow.
Being my own person really does it, and it helps my confidence and my motivation to really go further and be the best that I can be. I mean,
I love that.
yeah.
So some of the things that you said, it helps with your confidence. You love the feeling of being your own boss. I know that you also love the feeling of hiring and helping other people. So to other people,
That's definitely my number one thing, helping other people.
Mine too.
Because it's important to me, because I started out, people helping me. So I really have to return the favor and put in help other persons. I mean, helping people is something that has been in my DNA since I was a child. I mean, when I was in prep school, they used to call me village lawyer because persons were always coming to me for advice for everything. So I love helping persons. Paying it forward is very important to me.
Very important.
Because you really don't know where persons are coming from, and giving them an opportunity to make money online is something that who knows where it can take them, and I know where it has taken me. So helping others and instilling motivation to help others is something that is very important to me. As I say, it's in my DNA, it's in my blood. I cannot not see you with your Fiverr account and not help you put up gigs and stuff. And I've actually mentored quite a few persons and seen the rewards. And I mean, payment is not important to me. It's your success that speaks for itself. So your success is my reward. And seeing you out there slaying and doing orders and making a good amount of money, and just doing well for yourself is something that is important to me, and paying it forward is definitely my number one thing.
I love that. And what do you say to people in this time that we're in right now as we're recording this? We're in this, coronavirus crisis, and not only where we live in Jamaica, but also the whole world is being affected by it. People are losing their jobs. The amount of posts I see on Facebook for people who say they've just lost their job, they just either got laid off or let go, or you know what I mean? They know that it's coming soon. It's pretty scary. So how are you? First, let me ask you two questions. How is your business doing during this time? Most people have said that they're still getting orders. They're still, business is normal. For my sister Lorette, her orders have actually increased because of the service that she provides. And then what would you say to them about starting an online business? People have asked me, like, is it too late to get started? So can you answer those two questions for me? First, how's your business doing during this time? And second,
my business, actually last week Saturday, I was very busy doing an order for one of my loyal buyers who just loves me to bits and pieces. He actually I actually did a $45 order for him. It was a 59-minute thing. It was I think he's a chiropractor, so
okay.
it's a medical thing. He was at a little dinner thing and he was teaching others about his practice and stuff. So it was actually good. So I'm actually doing orders and I do get requests, and I have my loyal buyers who will give me orders. So
Still
yeah,
giving.
I'll currently take an order here and there. So business, I think, for persons who are losing jobs in the light of coronavirus, I don't think in my lifetime I've ever seen anything like this.
Right.
I mean, the entire world is being shut down, and a lot of businesses, places are out of business. And I mean, now is the time to really capitalize um on this online business, because I know it's scary. I know, day-to-day life is basically non-existent now, because we can't even go to our front doors without this virus. I'm definitely saying to others to really capitalize. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be freelancing. I mean, the freelancing is wide and huge.
Huge.
So I mean, you can do drop shipping, you can do transcription, you can do so much with online capabilities now. And I think now is the time to really capitalize. Your 9 to 5 is disrupted. Get a laptop somewhere, borrow it from a friend, and really set up your Fiverr account and just do the course at Internet Income or wherever it is, and take courses online. I encourage others to, do Udemy courses, Allison courses, wherever it is that you want to learn a skill, and offer it online. Definitely offer it online. Virtual assistant is booming. Proofreading is booming. I mean, it doesn't have to be Fiverr, but I mean, start something for yourself. I mean, a 9 to 5, unfortunately, isn't guaranteed nowadays. But online business will always be there. And I've never seen anything like this in my entire 34 years of life, Not even polio was like this. But I mean, definitely capitalize on your skills. I mean, skills is what gets you through um definitely gets you through with freelancing. Definitely capitalize on those skills that you have. Definitely do not let them dry up, because I mean, there's so much potential out there. There's so many things that you can capitalize on online. It doesn't matter if it's Upwork, people per hour, whatever it is. You have a skill, it can be made profitable and it can be made. You can make money online. Open your mind and definitely have an open mindset and know that you have to find a way to feed your family and you have to find a way to feed yourself. So why not online? Best way to go.
Why not online? I'm with you on that one. And I think that
Yeah.
so many other people are now looking to this online world as